to win this Champions League. I really do. And I do think I'm perhaps a bit old-fashioned in the idea that when it becomes, an English team in an English competition outside of the Premier League, where it's very tribal and so on, I think it's good to support. I don't know whether you want
Absolutely.
Arsenal to win, but I think it's good to support the English or the British team in those
Mm.
circumstances. Interestingly, at Palace the other night, we had a draw. Trying to think of the score the other night
It was a
with
draw.
Forest. It was 1-1, wasn't it? Yeah,
1-1, yeah.
it was a
Absolutely.
1-1 draw. It wasn't a bad game. Um, and in fact, since then, there have been. It's quite refreshing, really. There have been quite a few uh, Facebook messages to Palace fans from Forest fans saying, good game the other night, draw, fair result. You've got a good team there, and we really hope you win at Wembley. And
Yeah.
and I think part of that is because we knocked out Aston Villa, who are
Yeah.
rivals with Forest anyway. But there were so many decent comments, and people were saying who come back on the train the other night after the game, they were mixing with, presumably going back into London, etc., mixing with Forest fans, and they said what decent people they were. They had good conversations, a bit of humour, and I find that refreshing. That
Yeah.
in a very tribal game where there's most crowds don't hesitate to tell the linesman or lineswoman what they should do with the flag when they think they've made a bad decision, and the
Yeah.
ref is called all sorts of things. I think it's quite good when you
Yeah.
get when you get decency and a bit of camaraderie among football fans, because sometimes it is appropriate, and it's good to know it happens sometimes. So I will be doing a bit of a cheer for Arsenal when I watch the game tonight, and
Nice.
I'm
Yeah.
expecting them to win.
Yeah. Well, the Nottingham Forest fans, they were saying that Palace fans are decent. Obviously, I haven't met
Yeah,
you. I don't think.
that was a bit below the belt, guys. I don't know what caused you to say that to me. You know, I'll bat something
Oh,
back to you in
I
a
was
minute.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting
Yeah,
so
ouch.
patiently for that. Yeah. What was the next thing that I was going to talk about? It was I had it just now.
Well,
Oh
listen,
dear.
we talked about your friend Trent. Let me just go back to that, if I may,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
because what do you think about the fact that there's quite a lot of disquiet, shall we say, talking about fans' reactions
Yeah.
to him, very negative. Now, he's been on Liverpool's books in their academy
Yeah.
since he was 6. Imagine that. He must have shown a hell of a promise, because he's an excellent footballer, of course. But he's been there for 20 years, and he's what, 26 now. And he announced this week that he is off to Real Madrid
Yeah.
next season, and he's had a lot of aggression from a lot of fans
Yes.
saying he's a traitor, he's this, he's the other. So, what do you think about that?
Well, I think that is not in the spirit of football or in the true spirit of football, right? Because there's different spirits of football. But I read about that as well. It was quite aggressive of the treatment that he was met to have. And I didn't think that had anything to do with football. I don't know what that is about because I mean we've had players leave other teams to then join their team. Have they got that sort of treatment where they got that sort of treatment where they've left from. So I didn't quite understand that. I read it and I thought it's just got to be some. I would put that down to um, some fans that would cause problems anyway. I don't think that represents the Liverpool supporters. The true
No.
Liverpool. Yeah, I don't think that. I think it's just a faction of people that are just out there just to cause a bit of, or sow a bit of discord, really, because I don't see what that is about. Players are free to move if they want to move. He's not going to be the last player there. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was only going to say that just to see both sides in a way. Yeah, some of the words like traitor and stuff I think are ridiculous. But I think what it is, this last year, it's been the worst kept secret that he's going to Madrid. I think it was generally thought or known, but it's never been confirmed. And his contract will run out at the end of this season.
Right.
And I think a lot of fans feel that he's been at Liverpool since he was a little boy, really. They've nurtured him, they've made him what he is. And I think a lot of fans would have liked to have got, I don't think they begrudge him his move and a big money move and all that, but they would like to have got something back by way of a fee, and he would have been worth a lot of money, even say a year ago. And I think the thinking is, if he'd been straight and honest and open and said, look, I'm just going to take this opportunity, it may not be signed and sealed yet, but this is what is looking like. And even if he'd signed, say, another year's contract, so that Liverpool could reap in quite a sizable fee, which they would have got. Yeah. And I think it was that kind of secrecy, which he's now said, yeah, I'm going. And I think they don't feel comfortable that he's done it all almost on the sly. But I'm not saying that justifies, stupid comments or whatever. I think on balance, the fans probably are grateful for having a great footballer that they've nurtured and brought to the standard he's at. Yeah. He's played plenty of times for England. I think he's played 360 games. And actually, I think they said 23 goals, which struck me as not as many as I would have thought, because he does score some excellent goals, often long-range ones from time to time. So, yeah, I think most football fans, certainly at Liverpool and elsewhere, will wish him well. I have a hunch from something he said that one day he might want to come back to Liverpool, either in his twilight years as a player or maybe as a coach or something like that, because clearly Liverpool will always be in his blood, as it would be from a 6-year-old boy. Yeah. But yeah, I think he's done a great job for them. Maybe he could have handled this last episode.